You know the feeling of constantly checking out new cameras? Even though you might have bought one, you're still thinking, what if there's a better option out there? That's right, everybody's guilty of being obsessed with the equipment, but we just want to elevate our work and make it look more cinematic, like the old cinema classics. But one thing that's very hard to do as an indie filmmaker is to shoot on actual celluloid film. With the digital cameras getting better and better, we do have access to amazing devices that can capture beautiful images. But on the way there, we lost the film look and that hard to describe feeling that comes with it. All the grain, the bloom, the muted highlights, they create this magical and nostalgic feeling. So how can we address that in our work? Recently, I got my hands on a film emulation plugin, Dehancer, and I wanted to do a couple of things. I wanted to do an overview of what it is, and I wanted to share my thoughts whether it's actually worth all the hype. But before that, let's get the grain on. Vintage! A disclaimer. I don't want this to be a celluloid film science/history lesson. If you want more details, I will add them in the video as we go along. I'm not gonna lie, this is quite a powerful plugin with a lot of options. I just want to cut through the noise and get right to the juice of it. So film profiles are the heart of Dehancer. And the first time I opened it, I was so intimidated because of the amount of options available. Fortunately, on Dehancer's website, you can see all the categories, and there's a motion picture films category, which is the main one. And I guess this is the industry standard. For example, films like Inglourious Basterds and Interstellar were both shot on Kodak Vision 3 stock. There are also different categories. You can experiment, really, there are so many different film looks, but for this presentation, I mostly stuck with the motion picture film category. I think it's important to mention that Dehancer isn't a LUT, because LUTs only transform the colors. And what Dehancer does, it emulates the characteristics of the celluloid film. It emulates the color, the contrast, the distortion, and all the other things that come with it. Another great feature of Dehancer is the grain. The real grain isn't just overlaid on top of the image, which is how most of the grain effects work. Instead, the image consists entirely of the grain. So Dehancer reconstructs the shot using color and brightness data, along with some Dehancer magic to make it as realistic as possible. Halation is another cool feature. Halation adds red, orange halos around the highlights and the contrasting edges. It is really apparent once we mask the effect and you can see all the affected areas. I cranked it up a little bit higher so you can guys see how it works. It can also produce a red glare in the midtones, mostly in the skin tones. Bloom is a really lovely effect. It's this glow in the highlights caused by imperfections in the optical design. At least this is the definition. What it does, it creates this really dreamy look, especially when your footage is full of highlights. You can really see that in there. So here what I wanted to do is, without going into too much detail, show off some of the other features like the film damage, the vignette, the film breadth, the gate weave, and how they all work together on a quite extreme example of something, like a black and white footage. I really like it. And I do realize this is not very scientific. These examples are very rough and they are meant to be using all the default settings just to show that anybody can get good results. Okay, now that we've seen all the separate features, let's put them all together side by side and see how different looks compare to each other. Because I think this is the best way to actually see what is happening. To compare it to the balanced footage and then see a couple of different film profiles next to each other. I think now, equipped with the knowledge of how these effects work, you can really see how all of them put together can create this look. You can see halation, you can see the bloom, and you can see how those tiny subtle changes affect how the whole image is perceived. One of the best things was that after I wrapped my head around all the film profiles available, was that I was able to achieve really good looks using default settings. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see in more detail how I put all of them together. Do I think Dehancer is worth spending your money on? As with everything in life, the answer is, it depends. If you are a professional filmmaker or earn money making content, then I would say definitely yes. Dehancer Pro comes with a high price tag, but if you earn money making videos, it should pay itself back within 2 projects. If on the other hand you're just starting out and are looking for ways to elevate your videos, it is a maybe. I would be looking towards Dehancer Lite version only, because the separate features, they seem quite expensive, so the Dehancer light is a better option in my opinion. A great thing about it is that you can make almost any footage look stylized right away. And of course, it is not a magic pill. If you feed it crap, you're gonna get crap back, but with grain on it. What I'm saying is, if I think about the Dehancer as an investment, I think it would be a good one because you can see the results right away. That being said, I would always invest in good glass before. I'm a sucker for a good lens. If you decided this is something for you, you can get 10% off by using my promo code. Thanks for listening to me. See you next time.